relationships and marriages. Which one? Which one? Now, shouts out to marriages. Marriages are awesome. I will take nothing from a marriage. We supposed to get older and get married, but I know some people say, "Hey, I don't want to get married" or whatever, and they've never been married before in their life. I think that's a different thing. But remember in the comments. Hold on one second. Brother-in-law said, "Uh-oh," and then Miss Marla said both. All right. So here's how this is going to work. Now, let me get this kicked off for y'all. Hold on. So today's relationships could be a handful, and what I mean by that is we are always trying to figure each other out. So this show will aim at situationships and the men and women that are in them. All right. Hold on one second. Let me see what it is. Okay, that was my son. All right. So now, first question is this: do women still want to get married this day and time? Can y'all give me a one? Y'all women, can y'all give me a one in the comment section if y'all still willing to get married? All right. So, but I'm gonna tell you like this: most people, men or woman, man or woman, if you want to get married, please see a marriage. Miss Marla said she wants to get married. She said yes. Nate from upstate says, "Salute, we got this." Yes, we do got this. You know what I mean? So here's my thing. Let me ask you this, my brother Nate, because me and you had this conversation before. Are you willing to get married, Nate? Are you willing to get married? Let me know in the comment section, or go ahead and the link is right there. Get on the link. Like I said, either you can cam up or you can turn the camera off. You don't have to cam up. Me D said one. She said she's willing to get married. Okay. Marriage is a beautiful thing. Like I said, brother-in-law says, wait, funny you say that, because I saw a video with like 10 women crying, talking about they are 30 and over, no relationship, no marriages, no kids. And let me tell you, that is such a waste. And I'm not saying that against the women. If they would get in here and get on their purpose is to basically grow up, be a wife, grow up, be a wife. Okay. Miss Marla in the building. Finally, you got your camera working. Thank you.
Hey,
Finally. So
amen, glory.
yeah, that's good. So here's my thing. Now, you said that have you ever been married before?
Not well, not legally, but common law. I was.
Okay, okay. Um, so brother-in-law messing with you. Say she come on breastfeeding.
No, no, no. Well, I do breastfeed my daughter, but no, no, no.
Okay. So you said you've never been married, but you're willing to get married.
Right.
Okay. All right. So that's good, because again, marriage is a beautiful thing. So have you ever got close to being married before?
Yes, twice.
Oh, okay. Um, and when that happened, did it ever kind of twist you for a while to say, I don't even want to get married, or you just stayed looking?
A little bit both. Well, it was with my son's father.
Okay.
I was. It kind of discouraged me a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So, but once I, did soul searching, it opened my eyes even more. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So when you went to go get married, or that second person, were you watching out for different things after that to say, okay, I'm going to watch out for this
Yeah.
because
I
I
mean,
want to.
I learned a lot of stuff from my son's father.
Okay.
What signs to look for and what not to look for.
Okay. Okay. And it happens like that. It does happen like that. And you know, me, like I said, I was married for 30 years. to me, if you ask me, like I always try to make everything positive. I know I can't make everything positive, but what I will do is
Hmm.
make most of my marriage positive. I don't want to say anything negative about, my past marriage or whatever. Sure, we had ups and downs, just like anybody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
but I'm not going to down it. It was actually, we had a lot of fun times. Got a chance to have kids and raise kids and do the family thing. You know what I mean? So at
Yeah.
this day and age, I look at marriage just a little bit different. I mean, I do want to get married again eventually, and I'm sure I will. But it's just
Yeah.
right now, like how you was just saying, you I guess you took a break or gave yourself a little break and then got back to it. Is that kind of what you were saying?
Um. Basically, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I had to find myself, because I put my all into that relationship,
Yeah.
and I learned from it. So I mean, like I said once before, previous, when you had the phones lines open, but I know what I want, and I expect that person want the same thing. If that person don't want the same thing, then you wasting my time.
Well, what about, and you say time. What about timing? When you're ready, what if he's not ready yet?
I mean, I would be patient with them. I mean, it's like with my daughter father. He was not ready to get married, but we was not was at I can't think of the word right now. It will come to me,
Okay. No,
but
I
yeah.
mean I get it. I get it. So hold on one second. So
Mhm.
so what I was saying here, do women still want to get married this day and time, right? And you answered it, me D answered it. Um, and we're gonna read this. Despite premarital sex being normative, the overwhelming majority of women still desire to, desire marriage. And as it turns out, 87% of them want marriage before childbearing, even though 40% of children will be born to unmarried moms. So, do you see that a lot in our community?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And if we continue to do that, the younger kids coming up is going to look at that as that being the norm. And that's definitely not the norm. Shouts out to Miss Keisha Dickerson in the building. Hello. Thank you for coming back. I'm holding it down myself tonight until my other people come, if they get a chance to come on, because I was late. But so um, so that's, we don't want that to be the norm for the generation coming up, seeing that, I mean, it happens. You know, when I came up, that's what I saw. I saw a lot of moms before marriage. You know what I'm saying? So so we don't want that to come to play like that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you, I say a lot of things, whatever, but as I was coming up, I was actually a little scared. I didn't want to have a kid before marriage. I just didn't want that. You know what I mean? Because that's not what I saw coming up when I came up. My parents were married, so that's what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? And that's why, again, a lot of people look at me strange about some of my ways or the way I want things or expect things, is because I actually saw it. And I know some were, you know, um, didn't get a chance to see that, but that's why I say what I say. And there's a couple people in here that come on that sometimes and say, "Hey, I've seen it. I grew up like that," so they can understand me more. You know what I mean? Um, also, we're going to go here with this. Who do y'all think is more likely to end a marriage, though? Um, okay, Miss Keisha said that yes, she can relate. She can definitely relate. Um, Now the question was, who is more likely to end the marriage? Yummy Gummy in the building. Hello, Yummy Gummy. Thank you for coming through. Um, okay. Brother-in-law answered that with the quickness. The question was again, who do y'all think? Who is more likely to end the marriage? Brother-in-law said, women. Do any of y'all beg to differ? Let me know in the comment section. Who do y'all think would more likely end the marriage? Right now, as y'all put that in the comment section, I'm gonna read this. Who is more likely to end the marriage? When it comes to men and women, there's a clear answer as to who is filing for divorce more often. Nearly 70% of divorces are initiated by the wife. In addition, over 50% of divorced wives never want to remarry, while only about 30% of men express that same sentiment. Miss Keisha said it was men. Me D says she agrees. Here's my thing. Me as a man, I prefer if there's a problem in the relationship, I prefer to work on it. I do. So me D said women. So she agreed with the facts here. Miss Keisha said, wow. Yeah, I mean, they did the statistics and or the stats, but you know, a lot of people say I don't go by stats. I don't go, okay, well, present another way of proof. And then maybe yours are stronger than the stats. You see what I'm saying? So, but so 70% of women initiate divorce. Why do y'all think so? Why? Why do y'all think that 70% of women initiate the divorce? Let's read what brother-in-law put here. You know why it's women? Because it's something there for them to go after a majority of the time. I forgot my buttons, but here we go.
Amen.
I agree, brother-in-law. And this is nothing against women, but y'all gotta remember a lot of times women lead with their emotions. And sometimes, well, actually, a lot of times that's not good. That's not good. Nate from upstate said, I would say whoever is not happy in the marriage. Yeah, of course, the one that's not happy in the marriage is going to be the one that will initiate the divorce, but um most likely a lot of times it's women. Let's read what me D said. Women are emotionally attached, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So a lot of times they lead with their emotions, and a lot of times that's just not right. Let's read what Yummy Gummy said. Usually the woman. Yes. See, these are open-minded women, and like I said, I'm not trying to bash. A lot of times I may, and then this is me admitting, a lot of times I may say certain things, and it might be a little harsh or my delivery or whatever. I'm going to work on that. But then sometimes when I'm explaining things or I'm saying things, instead, I may cut it off and not say the rest because I'm not here to hurt people. I'm not. So, as Keisha said, them dang or them darn emotions is something else. I agree. I'm going to tell y'all this. I was having a conversation. Now, remember, and I'm going to bring somebody back on here in reference to talking about hormones. And this is going to benefit the men and the women. And I'm going to bring them back on here. And these are professionals. But I'm going to say this. Now, you know, women, you know, as they get older, again, their testosterone goes up and the estrogen goes down. So with men, it's the opposite. Our testosterone goes down and estrogen goes up. Well, guess what estrogen does? It will make you more feminine like. You will be very feminine acting, not like saying like flaming, but I'm talking about you can't, your skin is not no longer thick. Somebody say something, you ready to flip off. Like you can't keep your calm. And you become whiny. So you need to get that balance in between that, right? I've experienced it, and I've experienced getting taking care of myself and getting treatment to not be that way. So, and that's why a lot of times when women get older, that's why they become more stern. They become more, and they become more difficult to deal with because of that. Their estrogen went down, which will make them more aggressive, and their testosterone goes up, which will make them more aggressive. so that's what happens. Yummy Gummy said usually it's the women not happy and file for divorce. Ta-da! Again, Miss Keisha said I agree. So that's something that we have to watch out for, and that's why. And this is again no disrespect to women, whatever, because I think, of course, the woman's input definitely matters. There's a lot of times where input was given to me, and it was better than my vision. All right. So the other thing is Nate from Upstate said a lot of people get married for the wrong reasons nowadays. They do. Give me 2 reasons why that's wrong, Nate, that you think is, or anybody, for the reasons why they get married and it's wrong. It's for the wrong reasons. But I'm going to give you one. One reason is this: it's because they don't see the right way. You understand what I'm saying? Some people get married because they think that this man has all this money and they're going to live the glamorous life, and they think that, or they think that they supposed to because of their friends are all married, and it's not right. So hold on, let me remove this. So marriage is tricky. Marriage is definitely tricky. And remember, I'm getting ready to pop up the link to the show again, just in case anybody wants to come on. Like I said, you can when you come on, you don't have to put the camera on, or if you want to put the camera on, it's there. So and we appreciate Miss Marla for popping on. Hold on one second. All right, here's the link again. Putting it back up. Here's the link. Bam, right there in the comment section. So we also have Yummy Gummy said, never marry for money that becomes a poop show. And it does. It does. Unfortunately, a lot of females, not women, marry out of hypergamy. They're just trying to come up, marrying for the money. And that's just not the way to do it. You know what I mean? What's up, my brother Shimmy in the building? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. We are actually talking about are men happier married or unmarried? What, have you ever got married before, Shimmy?
Never.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, marriage is a beautiful thing when it's with the right person. You know what I mean? So, and also you better enjoy it while you can, because that right person can become the wrong person later in life. You know what I mean? So that's something you got to watch out for. Yeah, and we in construction site media TV also had mentioned, he says it seems that modern women come with a price tag and don't really have nothing more than vagina to offer. That is very, very true. You know what I mean? Again, you look at Facebook. Facebook is really butt book, because that's the first thing they sticking out. Their face is back here, but their butt out here, trying to, so you can see that first. Like if that turns you on, either you ain't grow up yet, or you're a perv.
So you saying using the downstairs more than they're using the upstairs?
Correct. And if that attracts you, and I know there's a lot of dudes that are attracted by that, you know what I mean? But it's none of it ain't even, worth it. Because that type of woman a lot of times could bring you a lot of problems. What I was going to say. So, now what give us
what's the subject again?
well, the topic tonight is this. It is relationships and marriages. Which one? Would you rather be in a relationship or would you rather be married? You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm gonna pull that back off for now. How you feel about that? Would you rather be in a relationship right now or married? Hey, Nate, we definitely want you to come back on. If you can try again, come back on. Just put that information in there, and it should pop you on. Miss Keisha said she'd rather be married. Miss Keisha, have you ever been married before, or would if you get married now, would it be your first time? Go ahead, Shimmy.
I'd rather be in love. Anybody can be in a relationship, and any two people can get married. Marriage is pretty much paperwork. Relationship is pretty much lip service, but being in love is a euphoria, a feeling. What's the word I'm looking for? A destination that you want to get to. So I'd rather be in love. Marriage is paperwork. Relationship is lip service. But I'd rather be in love, that feeling, that unconditional wealth of love and emotion. So yeah, I mean, marriage or relationship, yeah, I'd rather be married, which is a good partnership, essentially a relationship. But being in love is most important. And finding that true love, somebody that's destined, somebody that's committed, devoted, that's true, that's organic. That's what's really what you really want.
Right.
All these titles, they don't mean much. They just title in name. Is the difference between, like I said before, being appointed or being anointed. So
okay. Oh yeah, and I agree with you. I agree. And me D gave you an amen on that. Okay, and Miss Keisha said if she was to get married right now, it would be her first time. So, and there's a person out there for everyone. You know what I mean? Sometimes we may make mistakes in the people that we meet over time, but as long as you can brush that off, I mean, you can move forward. All right, me D said women need to stop thinking we can change a man. That's true. You almost got to think about where did that come from? We can't really put our finger on it. But if we had to say television, fairy tales, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, even men, are guilty of this. Start piecing together a woman. Well, if she was like this and had this, we can do this. And then we can also turn around and do this. You know what I mean? Nate, can you hear us, brother? Nate. From on that side, what you think is wrong with that, Shimmy? Because I don't usually come in on that side the way y'all come on.
Well, when it comes to changing a man, first of all, that's your first mistake.
Right.
People are who they are. People grow up being who they are. The fabric, what cloth they're cut from. If you happen to choose a leader, you got a leader. So how you trying to change that leader? I don't know how you're going to do that, because one thing about a man, if he's a leader, there's no changing him. There may be some tweaking involved. There may be some things that you may want to tailor around his leadership skills, but trying to change a man, maybe that project you want to go to a lesser tier guy. There are guys out there that you can change, you can groom, things of that nature. But once you put all that time in, then he may leave you and you may build him for somebody else. So that changing a man, trying to control a man, that's a difficult project. What you need to do is focus on a man who's a leader. You don't want that. You don't want a man that's a leader. So you want to build a bear. When you get him, he'll leave you to somebody else. So you got to pick your poison. Be careful what you ask for. Always go for the leadership. The man is in leadership.
I agree, my brother. I do. Now, Me D said women need to stop thinking we can change a man, right? You have to get that man for who he is. You got to get him for who he is, because when you try to change him, he may not be mentally capable of changing from who he is. Even if you keep trying over time, he may not morph into that guy that you want. So you need to get the guy who he is, who you like. Miss Keisha said, go ahead.
I think women don't know how insulting it is when you start trying to change a man, or when you hint at you want to change a man. That is so insulting to a real man, to try to change his purpose, his mindset, his direction, his manhood. It's almost as if you're challenging him, or you're jealous of who he is. You shouldn't have to change a man. That man is not meant for you. You need to choose a man that is meant for you. If you like projects, then you work on that project. It's very insulting. It's like me asking a woman's weight or her age or her body count. Let's not do that. Let's stay mature. We're grown adults. If you don't like this cup of tea, then go get a cup of milk, a glass of milk. That's just the way it is. You can't force a square peg into a round hole.
Right. I mean, I agree, my brother. Also, Miss Keisha said you can't change anyone but yourself. That's super true. A lot of times you have to I've seen situations where people say, well, you made me this way. I didn't make you do anything. You chose to be that way. I can't make you. You can bring the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. You see what I'm saying? But you know what? I'm guilty of saying that over time. That right there is a brain with it, like we've been brainwashed into that saying. You know what I mean? We've been brainwashed into it. Yummy Gummy says, but men also have to accept women as they are and not try to change who they are. My man tries to get me out of my role frequently. Okay. That's true. If that role is something that's needed, or, definitely don't let them take you out of your role. Stick to, if it's the womanly things that that you're doing, stick to it. Be who you are, because that's probably one of the main reasons why, not the reason, but why he's with you and why he may love you, because of those things. Sometimes us men, we will brush things off. I was guilty of also at a time, say for instance, when something wants to be done for me, and I'll be like, nah, don't worry about it. If you keep telling her that, it's like you're stripping her of her role and her duties. And she may not feel good about that. But if you know what's best for him, do it. Just do it. Never mind him sometimes, but just do it. If it's not nothing to hurt him, just do it. Me D, you can teach them how you want to, you can teach them how you want to be treated. Yeah, you can talk to him, and I mean, yeah, I'm sure. And if he loves you, he's going to make that change. Dang, Nate, we really wanted you to come on. Thank you so much for trying, but we're going to keep trying. But meanwhile, in the chat section, because we need you there as well. Yummy Gummy said, at Me D, you can't teach them how to treat you. They either know how or they don't. That comes from their raising. I agree with that as well, Yummy Gummy. I do. But sometimes you have to be told. You see what I'm saying? If you you know, can you agree with this Shimmy? Say for instance, like you meet somebody and you're trying to figure out, now you can sit back and see how they want to be treated, but then what's gonna happen is it's gonna be trial and error. But if they tell you, sometimes that does help. So I agree with both of y'all.
I do too. I agree with Yummy Gummy more because it's the way someone was raised. The fact that, like he said that you have to teach somebody how to treat you. That is true, but you can try to teach them how to treat you, but they may not feel like you're worth learning how to treat them. You shouldn't have to be worth learning how to treat someone. Like she said, either they have it or they don't. If they don't have it in them to treat, if they don't have it in them to make those adjustments the way you want to be treated, then they just don't have it. It's called class. And a lot of people don't have the class or the maturity to treat people accordingly.
Right.
Everybody you meet, you should be fair, but treat them accordingly.
Hello, me D. How you doing?
You know, you can't keep a girl quiet. I gotta come on for this.
All right.
Little,
well, we
I have
appreciate
to
you coming on. We appreciate you coming on. Yeah. So say for instance, have you been married before, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So when you met that guy, how did you learn about what he want and what he didn't want?
So I have to speak from two different types of situations here because my first marriage was when the man I had my kids by, and I was young, and so it is true what you said about the first marriage. We made it to the 7 year itch, and that was it. But we didn't know each other. You know what I mean? We ain't know ourselves. You know what I mean? So here you
Right.
are in a marriage, you got kids, and you're trying to, make a man happy, trying to make a woman happy, and you don't even know who you are. So, so that's the problem of what I've learned out of that marriage is we never got a chance to really know what made us happy before we try to get into a marriage to make each other happy. So that was part of the problem there.
So after all of that, right? Did you see where the problem was? Like,
Yep.
I mean, you just answered it, but I'm saying, did you see where you didn't find out how you should be treated or how he would need to be treated?
So there's another two-part situation. I should have waited a little longer to see how things was with his family. I met his family after we got married. So that's the wrong things, ladies. You need to meet him before you get married. But I met him after
I agree.
we got married. After we got married, and what I realized is he was against being like following rules in the home. So he left his house early, let the streets raise him, right? So then I saw how he treated his mom, how he treated his sisters, which you need to see all that again before you get married, right?
Right.
And that's
How old were you when you got married?
23. No.
And you
20, 22, 23.
And you feel like that was too young?
Oh, was it too young? Yes, was too young. Yes.
So how old are you supposed to be when you get married? I tell you what, you were hold on. You were 23 when you got married, right? Okay. Was he the first man was he the first man you ever been with before you got married?
No, he was not.
So you weren't too young.
But I was. So just because you were a man before you get married doesn't mean that you know everything about who you are and what you want. and where you go, it doesn't mean that. So what I've realized is, like I said, when you go back and you look at things, that's what I've realized the problem in my marriage. It may not have been the same for others, but for me, and I left home at the age of 18. I was serving during this time. So I was in the military. Mission was first. All you looking is for someone that could like support and that can, they're looking for the same things. Again, life was different when you're serving in the military. So uh, if I was back home, it probably would have been a different story. I could say that, right, Concrete? It would have been a different story.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, but because I left home at the age of 18, and and never been away from home before, so here I am. You're pretty much living on your own, raising yourself. You're not around your parents. You with, so it's a different life. It's a different way of of how you look at things.
right.
So like I said, you already have a place. So the things you're usually looking for, you already have that. The military gives you all that. It's all about finding a good candidate or a good person or a person that you think you're gonna love while you're still doing this mission to raise kids and do all these things. And it, like I said, it just wasn't the right choice. But what I'll never say it was a mistake. I have two beautiful kids. And he taught me, and we had great parenting, co-parenting with our kids. So while being in the military, so I can't really, say it was a real bad experience. I'll just say I learned from that experience.
Right. And that's what I always say. We all should look at those as being experiences instead of like bad decisions.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right, right.
So I mean, and it works out. So catching up on some of the comments right here, I think I already read Nate. Nate said, is being in a marriage with a partner only pays the bills? Is that acceptable? No, no. Because that's not a marriage. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? That's not a marriage. Miss Keisha said, I don't want to teach him how to treat me. It is selfish to me. Um, and then Nate from Upstate also said, if you got to teach them, you shouldn't marry them. And then Yummy Gummy said, you skipped a lot of comments. And then Nate from Upstate said, no, I'm just catching up, y'all. Then Yummy Gummy also said, usually what you see in your early 20s and what you want in your early 20s is completely different than what you see right now in your 30s. I agree. Like, go ahead, go ahead.
30. I wish. Oh, thank you. I wish I was 30. But you're right. I mean, and at your 30s, you're gonna see something different when you're at your 50s. I mean, life changes, you get older, you get wiser, and you learn from every person. And so let me make myself clear with Yummy Gummy, because she said something about treating them. You can meet a man, right? Because most men, if they had their mother in their life and they live with their mom, a lot of what they learned and was their interaction with their mother, right? So what I'll say to that is when I say treat them, they may not never. You might have been the first real woman they've ever met, or a different woman that they've never met, but are so infatuated by you, they want to learn you, they want to know about you. You have to teach them that. So that's what I mean by that, because everyone don't meet people like the same people within their lives. They can meet someone and say, oh my goodness, I never met a woman like you, and they're intrigued and they want to learn more, so you teach them. So that's what I meant by that. But as far as loving, teaching them how to love me, no, I'm not talking about that. But definitely you can teach them how, to treat you as a woman, because some men just may have never ran across a real woman. And you may have to be the one to teach them how to deal with a real woman.
Amen.
Go ahead, Shimmy.
So, Crete, you asked this question before. You asked me this question, and I told you what I'm gonna tell you now. You said when I was 20, what I was looking for. Now that I'm 50, am I still looking for the same thing that I was looking for when I was 20? When the Cosby Show was on with Claire Huxtable, that's what I wanted.
Right.
Back
Right.
then, I wanted a Claire Huxtable back then. I didn't want Jodie Watley from Soul Train. I didn't want Lisa from the Coat Jam. I didn't want neither one of them. I wanted Claire Huxtable. I'm 51 right now, and I still want my Claire Huxtable. It ain't changed. Class recognized
Amen.
class.
That's
Iron
good.
sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. So I mean, all this excuses. Oh, I was in my 20s. Oh, I wanted to be around somebody with some edge. I wanted to be around the thug life. I wanted to hit the streets. That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted. You still want it, but now you know that the time is running out, and you know that's not the right route because the GPS don't take you that way. And it can take you that way, but you're damn sure gonna get lost. So some people like me, I've always wanted to Claire Huxtable. When I was a kid when I was young watching the Cosby Show, I was like, that's the type of woman I want, Claire Huxtable. I'm 51 now. I still look at the Cosby Show. That's the type of woman I want, Claire Huxtable. I mean, what she do off screen, I don't know. But the one on screen, that's what I like. I've always liked that. I never wanted the ones that's on stage and on the casting couch and all that. So it's like the quality of the person. You are what you tolerate. You are what you pick. You are what you deal with. You marry somebody, you chose that. You already knew before it got that far. You already knew. Don't play dumb. All the red flags, don't play dumb. You already knew when you stood at the altar. You already knew.
Right. Shouts out to Tiff Trey in the building. Thank you for coming through, Tiff Trey. I'm just telling you straight up, what I wanted in the 20s is totally different what I wanted in the 50s. You know what I'm saying? But what you just said, I like that too. Conservative, not out there, you know what I'm saying? And she dressed nice, ain't got, worrying about her butt and all that stuff. I'll take brains over butt any day. So, here's another one. All right, so is dating today stressful?
What? What is it? That's the question?
Yeah.
Look, I never thought I'd be in my 50s trying to date. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not what it was when we were younger, that's for sure.
Right.
Again, like I was saying, it's all about what a person can do for you these days, or it's more of a contractual type of relationship, or no one looks at love and trying to enjoy what that is or remembering what that is. It's all about everything else. So, no, it's not fun
Right.
at all.
Especially at this age, because men and women are set in their ways.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then again, that's why you see a lot of women in the 50s dating younger guys, because the control factor. But it runs out and they'll end up going back to a girl their age, or sometimes you'll see an older guy dating a younger girl. The control factor, and then she may end up running back to a guy her age.
So I never looked. So it was never about control for me. What I'll tell you is, you'll be surprised in some relationships that the men just give up that power to their woman. It's not always about a woman wanting to be in control. Now, you do got some women out there, and I'm never that woman saying I don't need a man because I enjoy having a man in my life. But what I would say is, I understand and want the man to lead and have that power to lead. I want all that. What you do in your household and how you run in your household should be right there in your household. But when we walk out that door, he's the man and he's the lead. That's how I have to be. How you doing in the house is between you and him. Nobody don't have to know all that. You know what I mean? But yes, it's a little difficult today. It's a little difficult.
I'm gonna let you say what you was gonna say, Shimmy, and then I'll come and say what I was gonna say, and I'm gonna read these comments. But go ahead, Shimmy.
You asked if dating was stressful. Is it hard? Oh, it's easy. The game is easy. The game is easy. You already know the rules. You already see what we want to do is we think that everybody thinks they got their stuff together and they think they gonna meet the perfect person. It ain't nobody perfect. Yeah, you can be looking for these red flags. Everyone has imperfections, deficiencies, flaws. So I'm like, why the expectations so high when it comes to involving another human in your life? Dating is real easy. You can say, "No, I'm good. It's not a loss because you don't have to be committed. It's a date. There's no listen. Is the treasure chest open? Are there a lot of qualified men? Are there a lot of qualified women? A lot of them unqualified. Maybe you have to take some time with somebody that you say, hey, they're 80% there. Maybe I can push them to 100%. You're going to have to work with somebody. All this dating expecting you're going to get everything at once. You're going to have to work with people. And people don't want to work with each other no more. They like, you got to have everything together. That's what people want to do.
Yeah.
Dating is easy. You ain't got enough. You ain't 100%. You ain't 100%, so I can't do this. Oh, well, you got to put the work in. Nobody's perfect.
That's very true. And here's my thing. Me D was talking about how some guys give in to some women, and then now the woman is leading. Is that kind of what you were saying, Me D?
That's how it is, but it's not like that for all women. I mean, that is the perception of that's what women out here is supposed to be about. That we want what we want to have what we want, we want to be in. That's not the case for all women. But I'm telling you, that is the stereotype. That's what's out there. And so when you meet a man, automatically, that is the perception. I'm telling you, and I'm just saying. And I'm not trying to toot my horn, but just going out, men are intimidated just to meet. Oh, you look like you got yourself, just the things that men will say right off the bat. It's already intimidating. You haven't even had a conversation, and it's already again.
Hey, I've seen that.
I'm telling you, it's hard.
Me D, it's where you go to.
Oh, I don't go out.
It's where you go.
I don't go
hey,
out.
Look. If you shop at the Dollar General, if you shop at Family Dollar, if you shop at Dollar Tree, that's what you're getting.
Dollar Tree.
You gotta listen. Listen. People out here talking about it's dating hard. If you shopping at the discount mall, that's what you getting. You getting a discount. You gotta hang out at the country club. You gotta hang out at the art museum. You got to hang out at places, the elements that put you in a situation. You get so caught up in the lounges, the clubs, the mall, the fine dining restaurants. No, you can't. You got to put yourself in, not you.
Oh.
Not you, me. I'm talking about women. When they decide, I want to date somebody.
You're right.
They go looking in the dumpster. They go looking in the dumpster for trash, and that's what you pulled out. You can't find diamonds in the dumpster.
True enough.
So it all depends what element you put yourself in. Dating is easy. Where are you going looking? Where are you looking at?
They're looking. You're not supposed
to. Well,
guess what?
I was just going to say that. I suggest you don't look.
Right.
Let him or her come.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, what I was going to say from what you said, where a lot of guys give in, again, let's rewind back to where I was talking about hormones. Men, if they don't get it in control at 30, 40, 50, they become more feminine because the estrogen level are shooting up and their testosterone that really makes them a man is going down. And so you have but now they're walking into a woman where her testosterone is going up. So she's going to get tougher and her estrogen is going down, which is going to make it tougher. So that's all I'm saying. So we run into those type of things and wonder why. So that's why that changes like that. I'm gonna catch up with some of these comments and let me see. Usually what you see in the early 20s. Okay, I read that. And Tiff Trey said, hello, everyone. Yummy Gummy said, you can't teach them. They have to want to learn that. And also Yummy Gummy said, you just said it. They are intrigued and want to learn. They want to learn. So, and then also she said, I love the Cosby Show. And then Nate from Upstate said, "Laugh out loud." Then and he was saying, "Good luck." I think he was talking about when with the relationships being stressful. Miss Keisha said, "Yes, it is. They're stressful." And Yummy Gummy said, it's terrible. And Miss Keisha also said it can be stressful. And then also Yummy Gummy said, got I got mine. Dating is horrible. Uh Miss Keisha said, yes, having a man to lead and be the man of the relationship or of the house is an attractive thing. Um, Yummy Gummy also said it always takes work and the usual some compromise.
Mm.
And Miss Keisha said, I don't mind working with someone. Nothing is perfect. Yummy Gummy also said, I met and fell for my man because I had been single for a long time and was just looking to have a little fun. And 3 years later, here we are still battling it out together.
Nice.
That's dope.
That is.
And I mean, and brother-in-law said, laugh out loud, battling it out. So yeah, I mean that's what it is. And yes, marriage is stress. I mean, not marriage, but dating is stressful because you guys think like, okay, what baggage is about to come with this one? You're not looking for baggage, but you know some baggage. You know what I mean? So you have to take it in stride. And like I said, especially men, do less talking. Talk less. Listen to her.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And that's how you're going to find out. So let me take it to here. How about dating over 50? Although dating after 50 may feel different than dating when you were younger, you can still have a wonderful experience. However, keep in mind some helpful tips like being yourself and truthful, not dwelling on your past, particularly
Yeah.
when you're on a date. Maintain a consistent approach and in trying to have fun. You guys agree with that?
Totally agree with that. I think at this point in your life, you just go find a traveling club, go travel all over the world, and eventually you'll find somebody. Boom. There you go.
Right. I mean, that's very true. You never know.
Mhm.
Your person might be 12 hours away from you,
Mhm.
20 hours away from you. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But you find them in and it can happen. Yummy Gummy said at brother-in-law, not literally battling it out, but we battled through life together. We hit everything head on together and listen and he listens. And Miss Keisha said, I agree.
Mm.
Um, okay, so do y'all see dating or over 50 and over, do you see it more pleasing or is it less drama or what do y'all think?
So I'm very particular. And when I let me make sure I clear myself. I'm not a drama person, so I don't welcome drama to my life. I look, my peace is everything to me. So if you're
Mhm.
coming with drama, I can see it coming a mile. I'm already going in another direction. I can't do baby mama drama. I can't do, I can't do it. I mean, we all got family dynamics, and we got, some of us dysfunctionality, whatever it is, and it's fine.
Mhm.
But drama is a no. I, I've already been, you know, when you get this old, you want peace, you want happiness, you want love. I mean, that's what you want. That's where you at. That other stuff.
Right. No, and I feel you on that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough. You want peace. You want to get up in the morning, say your prayers, and
Mm-hmm.
enjoy your person. You know what I'm saying? Um, Brother-in-law, I like what he said here. He said dating is great at 50, especially when it's with your wife.
Amen.
Yep.
Amen.
Because he also knows that his wife was no, I'm messing with it, just Tony. She'll come after him. No.
Nice.
So how do you feel about dating 50 and over, Shimmy?
Well, it should be pretty easy because when you're younger, them 3 C's, I like to call them the 3 C's. They end at probably at 50. The 3 C's: comparing, competing, and control. And that's the mistake a lot of women do from the get-go. They're comparing men with another man, whether it's a man from the past or whether it's a man that she wished she could be with. They're competing with the man himself and the controlling of man. So after 50, you're refined, you're regal, you are majestic then. You learned your lesson by the time you're 50. So you don't have to go through 3 C's. So yeah, they know at 50 should be a blast because you already know. And women, when they get 50, they ain't doing that comparing, competing, and controlling. They ain't doing that no more. They already know the deal.
Appreciate that, Shimmy. I mean, but you never know. She'd be like, I used to mess with Willie Earl. And let me tell you, that fool. No, I'm messing with. Hold up. Yummy Gummy said, I think after 50, just let it find you. Kind of what happened to me. I also am in the 50 club. Okay. And brother-in-law says, as the song says, she's all I got, even though she nags me and complains a lot. I ain't letting her go. No. That was a jam right there. That's he's talking about hold on. I'm going old school with the record. It's Jimmy Cozier. Yeah. That's who he's talking about. That song was the joint. All right, so now let's go with what do y'all see? We kind of touched on this, but what do y'all see being the biggest issues with modern dating?
Listen to somebody else. Don't listen to nobody else. One day at a time. Let it be organic. Believe what you see and not what you hear. I see better than I hear. So it's like you say you're going to do something and you don't do it. Okay, I can move on, or I can sit up here and put up with this. That's the biggest issue, is listening to somebody else's relationship. Oh, your girlfriend will tell you, oh, girl, he took me on a cruise. He bought me a car. He paid my bills. You don't know that. So now the friend is expecting to find a man and do that as well. It don't work that way. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Women listen to their friends. That's why they're single. Men, we don't listen to no other man. Oh, we don't listen to no other man. We already know what we're dealing with. Women find themselves listening to other women. That's why they're single. Okay. Trust me.
Well, it's that saying that single women keep other women single. So Yummy Gummy says Shimmy is right. We dang sure ain't gonna compete. I don't know. I seen him over 50. Mabel, if you ain't gonna get him, I'm gonna get him. No, I'm messing with you.
They out there getting those BBLs. That's part of the
competing. That's it. Yes, and that's one thing I cannot stand. And again, that's a woman's thing, not a,
that's for her.
That's a female's thing. Most women are not going to do that to themselves. So, like, I think that women should be themselves, be who you are, so he can choose you for who you are.
But they gotta be comfortable in their own skin, and that's the problem.
I agree with that, but they have to just go meditate. You know what I'm saying? and find yourself and say, you know what? I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful for me, and I'm beautiful for somebody else.
It ain't that easy for some, though. You know that concrete.
I know. it ain't that easy.
Deeper. It goes a little deeper. It goes a little deeper.
Right. Brother-in-law said chasing clout. Yummy Gummy said, okay, be down in a minute.
Chasing clout.
Sorry. Huh?
What's chasing clout? I'm sorry.
Nah, he was talking about, I'm reading old. I think it was something that I said or Shimmy said.
Oh.
Um, okay. And then Keisha said, yes, communication is a must. Without it, it becomes an issue. Huh?
Can you hold a conversation? Can you hold a conversation?
Yeah.
That's the part. Can you have
Right.
an interesting conversation and be honest about it? Because that's what I find to be, again, you still want to put up these little, facades and look, just come straight and direct, and it's going to be okay. They either going to love you or they not. They're going to move on. What you got? That's how it should be at this age. Ain't no, we want no filter. We just say what we want, and that's it.
I'm gonna ask you about that, but let me brother-in-law crazy said BBLs meaning badly botched booty.
Amen.
Bruh.
Yeah, I mean, and ain't
Why
that
he
the
go
truth?
there? Oh my gosh.
So okay,
God.
what you were just talking about, right? Have like when you if you're having these conversations, what do these guys say to you that turn you off?
Okay, so what I find is everybody have a hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first of all, we all my entrepreneurs, they believe in that. They believe in not working for anybody. They believe they can bring better wealth to for themselves and be paid by somebody else. Okay, that's cool. But then they'll knock you for what you do and what you have going on because you may not have to work as hard. Well, damn, I'm over 50 and I already did my time. I already put my time in. Now you want me to go out and be an entrepreneur? That's not what I want to do.
Right.
That's what you want to do. My money gonna come whether I work or not. So that's the
Right.
part, right? That I think that's and I think some men have a problem with that. I don't know. I think it is because they still got to be out there getting dirty, and I don't. Again, that's you pick that job, you pick that occupation. Don't get mad at me.
Right. Now,
Hey,
that's the new way,
don't
though.
know
Go ahead.
listen, don't no real man give a damn about how you get your income.
You'd be surprised. Oh my God. I'm with you. No,
Listen,
I'm with you. I'm with you though. I am with you on that.
A real man don't a real man, long as you working and you clean and you cooking and you doing what you gotta do, why is he even worried about you working only 30 hours a week? If you got it like that, then I wouldn't even entertain it anymore.
You know what it is? Because they want you to stop what you're doing to jump into what they're doing. And that's what that's about. It's about getting you involved. Like, are you going to be able to fit into what my world is, which is this? I'm running this business, and this is, and some men, they think their woman needs to be right there with them running their business. You got men that think that way. They got a business. They want the family running it. They want, the woman there. And I get it. I don't fit into that. That's not for me.
I was going to ask you, did you have a problem with that? But you said it's not for you, which was that's actually, I'm glad you ended it off with that because it ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's nothing wrong with it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But those things need to be ironed out before the real part of the relationship. So,
right. So what I would do, if I'm about to finish, so what I would say is I can support you, but you asking me to end my career and it's about over, give me about 7 more years. That's another check for me. That's how I look at it. But no, they want you to end it now and come be a part of what they got going. That's not happening.
Got my brother community KP in the building. What's going on, KP?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Good evening.
Hello.
We good. So yeah, I do understand that. And now KP, you might can't well, no, you can because you talk to a lot of different brothers out here. I do also and Shimmy and me D just put a perfect example behind what she was just talking about. But what it was that do you find guys today not wanting to get married?
Well, that's kind of, that's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to answer because men really do want to be married.
Mm-hmm.
They do. They really do. It's just that I think um, a lot of men have been molded in a way that their fortitude, their foundation has been built on women taking care of them, and so they have these expectations um, of these, what I consider unfair expectations for a lot of women in today's society. I just think that, you know, men really do want that queen that's going to be a part of their culture, and they could build and build a legacy for their family, and have something to look back on, that you was a part of this world and you contributed um, with what our purpose is on being on earth, in my opinion, is, and that's to, you know what I'm saying, um, you know, have children and teach them about God and teach them to fear God and move forward in life, and a prosperous way to build a culture with what you have to add to society with your family and your legacy. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but some women, um, the key word is some women don't know how to um, balance or how to be a wife, because they've never been introduced to that in their whole entire life. So if
I agree.
if their mother was never a wife and their grandmother was their mother, and Pop wasn't even there, or if he was drunk and not being productive, and then and then it was always Big Mama running the show and calling the shots and being the foundation and and provide structure within the home. You know what I'm saying? So, and of course, the main negative is, which I don't think is a false narrative at all, that we've been, caught up in the conspiracy that to separate the man from the home, all the way down to, um, you know, they've been trying to separate us since the time we've been introduced to this land here. You know what I'm saying? So mixing out cultures, mixing out people, just trying to destroy
But
the
you know what? My bad, KP.
my
I was
bad.
talking about that. I was talking about that last week. Exactly what you just said. And
Yeah.
I didn't want to come off. I mean, I know a lot of people may know that, but then there's a lot of people that may not know that. And I just said that last week. And sometimes some of the things I could say come off crazy to some people. You know what I mean? But it's real. And that is so true. Because especially the black family has been tried and split in so many different ways through laws, and just, I mean, it's just terrible. So it's important for us to see family. Some of us, the only family they saw was Leave It to Beaver family on television. You know what I mean? I saw a family, you saw a family. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's important for a lot of the women to see women, and to see a mother, and to see a wife, especially if they can get that in the same household. That's golden. That's
Also, Crete,
good.
you have to understand too, and I don't mean to cut you off as well, but
Mhm.
the whole mentality of stripping the male ingredient from the community and from the home and the black family was something that was far, far, far before, of course, now implemented, even through laws and all the way to, if you're financially under pressure and you cannot maintain the financial structure for your family and you need help from the government, which 75 or 78% of that structure is white people, by the way. But if you need that situation, if that's your situation, you need that assistance, you cannot have a man in the home or you disqualify yourself for Section 8 housing, medical assistance for your children, any type of employment, training, assistance, and all that. You disqualify for all of that as a woman if you have a man there to be a father to his children.
Let that sink in. You see what I'm saying? Let that sink in. And that's what I mean. That's what I knew that, and that's why a lot of times you may hear that the government is their boyfriends.
So, time out. Let me add to that before I lose this thought real quick, Crete. So, what happened, of course, with the whole, that whole war against drugs era, where it was just mass incarceration happening in our communities, right? So the whole purpose for that was, of course, is to taint our ledger as far as men, and then be able to say, hey, he's a felon, and he's this, he's that, right? And classify us and to be able to put us in a classification lower than what's acceptable to society, right? And so they force us in a position not to be able to get jobs, the proper opportunities to provide for our families, and they put us in these communities and force us in these, and what I call plantations that we can't get out of because the neighborhoods is dumped in with a whole bunch of opportunity with negative things, and we taught that the only way you ever gonna make it is if you have either you selling crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot. You feel me?
Right.
So that whole narrative was implanted. So then with the mass incarceration, because the crack rock was the only way you was gonna get it, and you was getting 10 years for a $5 piece of Ready Rock, right? Back then, right? And so they was giving the dudes all of these charges, and everybody was getting hooked up on the drugs and all that, right? And they changed the whole era to glorify what was their whole purpose, is that to get as many of us away from our families as possible, right?
That's the agenda, to break up the family.
So they have all these women with these bitter tastes in their mouth saying, hey, we made it through all of this without these dudes. We don't need, and they teaching their children and their daughters, you don't need no nigga, you don't need it, the niggas ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit because they're bitter because they weren't there, and they weren't able to provide, and they weren't able to help her when she was taking care of 5 kids and he was locked up or on probation or ain't had no money because he couldn't get no job. You know what I'm saying? So they get so upset. So it's a resolving effect that went through generations. You know what I'm saying? So now you have all these young women that's being taught. Excuse me, that's being taught, you don't need this nigga, you all right, you can do it, you can do good you can do bad by yourself, right? And it's taking away a lot of the key ingredients for successful family structure, like not being, I'm talking about submissiveness with some limitation, you know what I'm saying? Because of course, don't nobody want no pet monkey around the house, you know what I'm saying? But you also want somebody that will allow you within levels, within a structure of a home, to show that balance is what it takes to make families survive. You know what I'm saying? And everybody doing their part. You know what I'm saying? So it's the teamwork that makes the dream work. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I agree with that. I agree with that. But here's my thing, KP. Here's my thing. No, you're good. So that also goes back to what I was talking about why a lot of guys don't want to get married, because a lot of these guys, they always have an agenda for something. So that's the agenda for divorce. When you get divorced, who is 9 times out of 10 gets the bad end of the stick? Is the man. Yes, sometimes women get caught up in and end up having to pay or this or that, the third. Sometimes. But that's just wrong. It's wrong.
Well, yeah, the whole judicial structure of it, of course, even women know, you know what I'm saying, that's a lot of, especially when it comes to, they only do that based on income. So they're able to segregate how they attack that situation based on how much money the man makes, right? So what does that do? That already, based on color, is going to put the black and brown people in the United States in a disadvantage because they're not going to make the money that some of the other people make, right? So the rules change based on economy, or based on how they segregate you, right? So I ain't going to even say that. I'm just going to say that the whole purpose is to get 16 black men to one woman in Baltimore City. You know what I'm saying? To have a ratio like that, right? I mean, I'm sorry, 16 women to every one man in Baltimore City. You know what I'm saying? So the whole object is to have a ratio like that. So what does that do? That has these women teaching their little boys that's 9 years old, hey, here go my king. That's my king right there. How you the king and you can't even buy yourself a box of Pop-Tarts?
Right.
You telling your son he's your king.
It's so twisted the way the agenda is put out there, and a lot of women are falling for it. Shimmy, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I want to. What KP is saying is right, but let's go here. One reason why men they're not rushed to be married. A lot of men, because like he said, here in Atlanta, it's 25 to 1. And when you include all races of women, it's 25 to 1. When you include the LGBTQ, when you include men locked up in prison, when you include men that's not gainfully employed, that's one reason, the ratio. The second reason why men don't rush to get married is because of all the distractions. You got so many distractions. You got social media. You got her co-workers that's distracting her. A real husband ain't gonna put up with all that outside noise coming into the house. A real man don't want to put up with all that noise, that rah-rah, and the discipline. Whereas we want to stay with our black queens, but do y'all have the discipline of those other cultures? Those other cultures, those women in those other cultures, they have much more discipline than the black woman.
Let me ask you
And
this.
black women, you already.
I'm sorry, bro. I appreciate your opinion. That's kind of really broad based to say that. I don't think that the other cultures may be more disciplined. Some of them may be, as far as their dedication to whatever their religious culture is, as far as how they assert themselves within the guidelines of a family. But the discipline, I would say, is black women do have a sense of real black women that I'm gonna quote that because there's some that have been tainted and there's never been even shown what like I said, they have no clue how to be a wife or a queen to a man because they've never seen that structure in their life. And the only thing they've ever been taught was you don't need this nigga. You gonna survive without him. You can move it. And then when they get in these relationships and they don't understand how to take on their part to make their team a whole because they've never played their position before. And the man has so many options because there's 17 women. 17 women to one man. You know what I'm saying? And then the women, they don't understand a level of like, they can get the man based on how they look and how they, whatever, but they don't know how to keep a home. Because as a black man, we go into this world and we fight so much pressure and so much diversity that they would never even understand because they never had to pull our pants up, right? So when we come from that world and doing everything that we have to do to maintain a level of, just life, just living, and we come to that home, the last thing we want to do is be challenged and be still dealing with adversity and objection and argument and stress and pressure and
But
false
that
accusation. You know what I'm saying? And that comes from already having in their mind these pockets of thoughts because they've been trained to think that's what a man's doing when he's out in this world. You know what I'm saying?
it's
So
brainwashed. It's
right,
brainwashed, and
right.
it's a crying shame. But what I understand what Shimmy was saying as well, because again, here's a smart, and I want you to comment on this, me. Say for instance, and this is going to be kind of, it's not meant to be harsh. It's just an example. Let's say slave plantation. You have the slave master. He could be standing outside in the yard, watching his workers watch over the slaves, right? And then the slaves in the field, you got men, women, and sometimes child. But the wife is up there on the porch, rocking back and forth in the chair, just watching. Who you think gonna have the most trauma? The black woman that's out in the field or the woman rocking on the chair on the porch? Unfortunately, the black woman. So she's gonna be more aggressive versus the lady rocking the chair on the porch. And that's why
no discipline.
Right. So, and I'm not saying, and this is, let me ask you this, Midi. Do you find what I just said offensive?
That was, you know, that's the analogy you wanted to use. I wouldn't have used that. I think living back in that era, I think that, you know, a lot of people are trying to get away from looking at it from that perspective. But no, I'm not offended by it. I understand what you're trying to say.
So, but did that take you to the point of what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that black women are aggressive, although there are a lot of aggressive black women, a lot of aggressive black men. You know what I mean?
But if you've never been shown anything different, right?
That's what I'm saying.
If your community is all you have and all you know, you never left, you never saw anything outside of that, you don't know no better. I'm gonna tell you, born and raised
of your environment.
Yes, born and raised from Baltimore City. And when I left home and traveled the world, you see things from a different perspective through a different scope. You see options. You see that you don't have to be like this. You don't have to be like that. Oh, you can do this. Oh, you can do that. When you stay in the community with the people and never seen anything outside your community, that is who you become. You become a
product of your environment.
Yeah,
go ahead, Shimmy.
It's
Okay, what you gonna say, Shimmy?
Me D.
Mm-hmm.
You say you traveled the world. You was in the military. What branch were you in?
Army.
You the Army? Okay. I was in the Navy.
Okay.
I was in the Navy 6 years. Okay, let me say this. So I traveled the world.
Mm-hmm.
Been in many different cultures. This is what I'm trying to tell KP, keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Dealt with women from other cultures.
Mm-hmm.
There's a totally different dichotomy. There's a totally different dynamic. Yeah, overseas in those other countries, they had their share of hussies. They had their share of hoes. But for the most part, in their culture, I never heard them saying, I don't need no man. All I heard was all I witnessed in the Navy, traveling to Japan, Canary Islands, South America, Africa. All I saw was, for the most part, submissive women that respect the man from the door. So when it doesn't take a handbook to get married, to be a wife or a husband. That should be second nature. You grow up, you can go out there and think you're gonna play around. But guess what? At the end of the day, you know what you've been doing. So when we say that, oh, somebody didn't see it growing up, or they're sheltered, we making excuses. You're grown now. You already know, because you have a friend of a friend that already know that you know already. My mother wasn't married, but I had friends. But I had friends, and I had other family members where I saw the hustle. I saw that, and I said, "That looks good. I want that. I want that." So
okay. So let me ask you one question real quick, brother. Now you say in these other cities, you went to these other places, these other cultures, these other countries, and of course you have to understand something. The grain of a person is who they. You can't say I had a exotic rose from Switzerland, but you grew it in the backyard in Brooklyn. It's not, you're not coming up with it may look like the same rose, brother, but it doesn't have the same soil and the same treatment and the same atmosphere and the same climate and the same elevation. It grew different. It was raised different. It was bred different. So you're going to come up with a different flower. So if I have a sister that's with, listen, bro, hold on, let me finish real quick. So you're going to compare a 20-year-old black woman from Philly, you know what I'm saying, who barely had got enough money to get on the bus to get to school every day so she can get a degree, so she can fight to get a job, you see what I'm saying? And help her mom take care of her brothers and sisters because her mom won't crack, you know what I'm saying? And the dad is not there because he's locked up. He's on his third long
Right.
hit. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, how is this woman that you're going to now scoop up and marry this 20-year-old, and she's lived a whole different core and structure of life, and you want to have her because now she's grown and she can look back on what she shouldn't have, what could have been, and what she wish it would have been, but she's never been that wasn't cultivated in her culture, and there was a level of just going out her front door. She had to be able to snap back and fight back because everybody's looking, it's a different culture when you step outside, when you living in Philly, than when you step outside and you living in Panama. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different type of person that you're dealing with. So you're gonna have a different.
KP, let me ask you, because so I
approach.
don't get lost. So you're asking him, why should it be a difference?
No, I'm asking him, why is it that black women are not disciplined because they're not as submissive as some other cultures, right?
I'm gonna help you out. In America, they're different.
You said in America,
In
right?
America, they're different.
Right. So the whole culture as of how American women treat men, period, is different, right?
No, listen to this. If you bring one of them women over here to the United States, the influence is horrible. Okay? I've been around the world sometimes too, and I've seen it. You see what I'm saying? That's why, if let's just say out of some freak of nature, I had married a woman from another country, I would definitely not bring her back here, because that'll defeat my purpose. She'll be right over there.
Bro.
I would not bring her here for this influence here. Yes, she can be influenced even on that part of the world, but not as much as being in it.
See,
Hold on, KP. Hey, KP, hold on.
Yes, sir. Let me fall back.
Crete, hold on. Give me 1 second, KP.
Okay.
Crete. So you go overseas and you get a beautiful wife. She can speak English. Remember what I said at first. If you bring her back over here, the distractions. Remember?
Right.
Distractions and become undisciplined.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the hood. I knew that I was never gonna date one. I knew that I would never marry one of them girls I grew up with. I grew up with them girls. I saw how they move. I went into the Navy. I'm like, what? Went into the Navy, went to South America, Brazil, Uruguay, Montevideo, Argentina, Brazil. I went all over those places, and from the projects to the military overseas, I already knew as a kid I was never gonna marry one of them project girls I grew up with. And then I went around the world. Oh yeah, and like Crete said, stay over there, because what it is today, they're easily distracted and undisciplined. You marry one of them chicks over there and stay over there with them, you got a better chance at being happy. Over here, it's a
Yep.
hot mess.
Another thing.
Because we're
Okay.
free over
All
here.
right, so you mean to tell me?
Key,
Hold on, time
hold
out.
on. Look at what my brother-in-law said. My brother-in-law, and that was one of the points I was getting ready to say to you, KP, and I forgot, but he said that's not exactly true, KP, because a lot of women overseas have it just as bad. When you were saying when the girl had it so bad, and this, that, and the third, you got girls down there walking down dirt roads and lions on
I
the side
got
of the
you.
road.
I'm not talking about level
With
of
no
poverty.
shoes on. With no
I'm
shoes
not
on.
talking about level of poverty. We're talking about why does a woman from Philly have a certain type of grit or a certain type of fight back or a certain type of stand up for herself or a certain type of don't let nobody take advantage of her or a certain type of if somebody push you, you push them back, because that's what we taught, bro. Like that's not what they taught in Taiwan.
What do
So
they?
you know, this man just said he classified, you know, I knew I wasn't gonna never marry me none of them project girls, right? But this is the same man that's from that same project, right? And so, you know, it's like, how do you designate a woman like, okay, me, for example, right? My wife, I met her in 1990, right? As you can see.
Oh, you married?
I'm out. Yes, sir. I'm married. 1990, right? I met my wife in 1990. She was 15 years old. I was 19 years old. We got married in 1999. In August, we'll be married 25 years.
Congratulations, my brother.
She from Woodington Gardens, Crete.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, all of y'all. I mean, I'm proud
from
of you.
Yale, Crete.
Right.
So y'all don't know since y'all don't know what I'm talking about, right?
KP.
Yeah.
Hey, KP.
Yes, sir.
Every now and then you can find a diamond. You can find a diamond in the rough.
Bro, all of these black women are diamonds, bro. It's that we treat them and put them in the rough, and then we listen. It's not solely all these bad crop of women, bro. It's also a whole lot of men who take advantage because of the imbalance. You got a whole bunch of abuse going on. You got a whole bunch of
hold on one second. I would agree with you, but I don't. You can't keep blaming it on dudes. Yes, there's a whole bunch of terrible dudes out here. Yes, it is. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not saying it's our fault.
No, I'm just saying it's a lot of terrible dudes out here. But you got to look at it like this. And I'm not bashing black women. I'm not. But you know what? A lot of them don't make it easy for us to talk good about them. And hold on. And this comes for white women and a whole bunch of other women. Even just earlier, Yummy Gummy said white women are aggressive too. They are. But you know what? Here's the thing. Black women have a reason
Where was
to
their
be
dad
aggressive.
at?
Huh?
Where were the
daddies? Let me tell you what it's about, Crete. It goes back to tolerance, right? It's things that black women just simply have limitations and they are built not to tolerate. Right?
Okay.
There's limitations and guidelines that black women are built as they course since a child to not tolerate, right?
Who taught them?
You know, so listen, their parents, their mothers taught them this, right?
Okay.
Their mothers taught them this, and their fathers. Even the ones that had fathers in the house, the fathers raised the bar and set a limitation of how they raised their daughter, and it set a bar.
Poison.
Bro, if you have a daughter right now, Crete.
I do.
Okay, so your daughter uses you as the blueprint at a bare minimum of what her expectations is as a man in her life, right? And what he should provide as you know, as a man in her life and as a structure for a leader as in a family. A black woman will be submissive to the proper leadership.
Let me
Because
say this,
why would a woman be
KP.
submissive to a dumbass dude?
KP, I've heard that before, and I've seen, I've
Does
seen,
that make sense?
I've seen good dudes
Woo.
get trampled on, and I've seen bad dudes get trampled on. I wanted to hear what you had to say, D. You said something before.
Yes, I wanted to say that some of us women didn't have our fathers. Now, my daddy was there. I'm a daddy girl to this day.
That ain't no
Mhm.
excuse.
But
That ain't no
that's
excuse.
that's
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 no
important because that's the one man that's going to show you what real love is. That first love is the daddy, and if it wasn't there, then you out there trying to figure it out, and you're rolling through men, and you don't know what love really is because you wasn't loved by that one man that showed you,
You never
that
seen it
teaches
before.
you. And right. So a lot of women out there are broken because of that. They're broken. And, I wanted to say, I can relate to like my girlfriends. I look at them, they're all over 50, never been married, have kids, but they want a husband. But you know what they're looking at from when we were 19, 20 years old? What? We all got baggage. We all got, you know, doors we haven't closed and all this other stuff. Now you talking about you want a husband right now, but yet you think you're going to find somebody as if they were brand new, just coming out of college, or you're not going to have
Let me
that.
ask you this, D. And I know you're gonna keep it real with us. Do some of them are some of them capable of having a good husband right now? Are they in the right mindset? Thank you.
No. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because they're so used to running everything. Everything.
See,
They ain't
and
never
guess
had
what?
nobody in their house running nothing.
A lot of
And they don't want, it. Because to me, I mean, I'm being real because I've had conversations with them. I'm the only one in the group that's been married. Nobody else has ever been married. And so what I tell them is, you if you don't know how to allow your man to lead, you can't even be in a relationship to make that happen. You put your kids first. Your kid's an adult. You don't owe your kids nothing at this time. And a lot of people don't know how to let go. You gotta know how to let go and set your kids up to sustain it, to be able to do things for themselves and then live your life. A lot of
right.
us can't do it. Don't know how to do it.
Want
And
me to
that's
tell
why
you
they
why?
got their
Because that
kids still
structure.
living with them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
that
so,
manly structure, the headship structure
mhm,
is not there. And then a lot of times, unfortunately, and you was just talking about this, KP, the government molding women.
Yeah, they put
successful women,
them in high
successful
ranking.
men.
The plan is to put them in high ranking positions in corporate America, give them the better jobs, get them in position to have a better credit, while the men are still trying to recover from all of this mass incarceration and working in warehouses and driving trucks and trying to get them. And so
Right.
it empowers a woman emotionally and mentally to feel like, because they can have, excuse me, they can have empowerment through financial structure, and it gives some women the feeling that really exemplifies what they was taught as a little girl. You don't need this nigga. You don't need this nigga. You feel me?
Right.
Now it's like, really, they don't need this nigga. You
Right.
see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And so then they
That's
find themselves looking for Mr.
that's
Perfect.
backfiring on KP. That's
It
backfiring.
is. It's backfiring because now they looking for Idris Elba. You saying Mr. Perfect? You know what I'm saying, to
Right.
come through the door, right?
That ain't gonna happen.
With his Gucci suit on and his loafers and his pretty car outside, waiting for her, all warmed up in the passenger seat,
Go
waiting
ahead,
for her
Shimmy.
butt to sit in it, right?
Right.
But guess
Hold
what?
on 1 second, KP. Hold on 1 second, KP. Go ahead, Shimmy.
KP, you married.
Yes, sir.
You married. I
Yes,
love
sir.
that.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna get back to what the premise is, the narrative. We keep making excuses for bad behavior. I mean, I watched the Cosby Show. I watched Leave It to Beaver. I watched all those family shows, Family Matters. I watched Different World. So nobody else that grew up in the hood, that was in the struggle, they never had an idealistic of what a husband and wife should portray themselves like. So they never had that. I get it. You saying they never had that. So we just have to, make all these kind of concessions, sacrifices, and understand that this is a wild animal that we got to try to tame. Guess what? It's not like that. There's no excuses for acting out of control, no excuses for needing all the attention, No
I agree.
excuses for all these expectations. You know, you see what it is. Yes, the black woman can have a great job, a great career. The average black man don't give a damn how much she making. In fact, if she's making more than him, he's applauding it. So
Right.
all these excuses of how she grew up, the trauma she been through. Guess what? We all no excuse. Don't give me no excuses, because when you're dating and you decide to be with somebody, you have an idealistic of what to look for. You choose to go to the streets, you made that decision. You choose to want to be a wife and follow that handbook of the Cosby Show or Different World or Family Matters or Different Strokes. You've seen the wife in the household. You've seen the husband. You've seen the father. You've seen Fresh Prince. You've seen it. We all have TV. So the excuses of, oh, she was in the struggle. She was in the mud. That's why she acting wild. That's why they don't want to be married. And black men scared to marry black women.
Nobody but about acting wild, bro. I don't know where I think that's where we getting the disconnect from, because you talking about like some type of uncultured, wild, wildebeest ass acting woman or something like that. Ain't nobody trying to marry them anyway.
Right, but
Like
KP,
that's not what I'm talking about, man. You saying black
but
women
KP,
from the
you're
hood? Black
you're
women from the
defending
hood are not just no wild acting wildebeest. Like
every woman does not need to be defended. You understand? I mean, you get a group of women, right? Back in the day, a fight break out in the 90s, it's 8 women. Some gonna fight, some gonna run. These idiots today, 8 of them, fight break out, 4 of them gonna jump on the table to start twerking. Yay! While they beating up the woman. Come on.
Crazy.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, and again,
okay,
we
I
are
understand.
working
Okay,
ourselves.
all right. So come on, yo. What is that the result of? That's the result of the whole thing that we've been talking about. Like, you have little girls having girls, and the little girls that having girls, the reason that they having girls is because they want to act grown. And so then when they had these little girls, they teach the little girls to act grown. And then the culture that they are exposing these little girls to is what also is a major narrative, and it goes back to what we have a deep love for Crete on a hip hop tip too, and amongst other things is the promotion of this whole sex sell your pussy culture, right, through the
Right.
music, and that is considered the normal. It's not considered um if you don't have that structure in the home and you got your mother waking up and the first thing she do when she popping up an Eggo in a toaster because she damn sure don't know how to make a real waffle, and so she pop an Eggo in a toaster and the first thing she do is throw on Megan and drop her funky booty to the floor and ain't mop the floor in 2 weeks. That's what this little girl was saying. And then the first thing the little girl doing is when she come up the steps, she ain't saying let's wash up and let's pray and let's get ready to have breakfast. She's saying, "Come on, baby, drop it, boo." She dropping it with her, like they dropping it together. So it's considered acceptable, bro. And it's not and it's all because guess what? If the artist that's coming out that's trying to put out something that's going to cultivate a woman and teach her how to be a queen to a man and teach her how to have a level of humbleness, a level of submissiveness, so she can take her position in the home and then strive for whatever her goals is and God has intended for her to do and complete in life, and have no man tell her or guide her that she can't reach her goals and place limitations on what God has planned for her. And then as a family, they can just grow and sprout and be prosperous and do what God intends us to do while we're here on earth. But we can't classify and stereotype our women and say because you from the hood or you a black woman or you because you've had a bad taste in your mouth due to a situation or two that you had to deal with. But that to say, you know what I'm saying, like black women from the culture of America are not
I'll tell you
married
what, KP,
are not marriage
KP,
material. It's just ludicrous, man. That is just absolutely
KP.
ridiculous.
If you didn't have a good wife, I'll tell you to go date them. You take them all.
Bro, listen, bro.
But look,
It's a reason why a woman is damn near 50 years old and she's still dating. Is either because she wants to be, and that's her choice, or it's because she's already been.
Sometimes it's the dude. It's not always the woman. Sometimes it's the dude. You know what I mean? And I try. Sometimes it might seem like I'm bashing women. I'm not, but I try to play fair. Sometimes it's the dude, or sometimes it's the woman. But let's see. Yummy Gummy.
All I'm saying is, Crete, is if you keep having if you've been in 15 relationships in the past 15 years, and the common denominator of every one of those relationships is you, then maybe you need to take a look at yourself.
Right. No, I agree, because that's a bit much. That's overkill. Yummy Gummy said, after 50 kids are grown, it's your turn. If you are lucky enough to find a good man, let him lead. Your kids ain't gonna pay nothing or love you like a man can. Because even in the Bible, it tells you you're supposed to grow up, leave your family, start your own.
How's a woman gonna call her man and treat her man like a king when she calling her son king?
Yeah, that's wrong. that's wrong. So,
bro, I've been tripping off of social media, bro. I wish the hell my wife would call my son king, and I just pay half them damn bills or more. Yeah,
right.
But your kids, they're going to be the ones that's there taking care of you. You don't know if that man, he's just your man, that's your husband. He's not obligated to take care of you. So something happened to you, who going to take care of you? The way I look at it, it's going to be my kids, right?
Right.
So yeah, you got to invest in your kids. Now, I ain't saying your kids got to stay with you for life, but you can't just blow them off and be like, oh, I'm all into my man.
Sweetheart, don't get me wrong.
You're still a mother. You're still a parent.
Our whole purpose is to invest in our children and have them expand what we learn from and our disadvantages growing up through life, and teach them to be way better than us so they can expand on our legacy, right? Exactly. So I'm not saying don't invest in your kids. I'm saying don't call your kid king. How he the king of the castle? What made 12-year-old Charlie Buck over there in the corner eating oatmeal king?
Right.
He don't even take the damn trash out. He can't even. Matter of fact, he getting C's in school. But he got on a Louis Vuitton belt and Prada tennis shoes.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, and how a lot of things go.
I wish the hell I would, man.
But
listen, bro, you know how it is, bro. Like it's about structure. Like I said, the whole thing is that not gonna worry. My sons come from an environment that wasn't so great when they first started, but as I progressed, they progressed, right? And so I was able to put them in an environment where they ain't had to come out the front door and see a whole bunch of trapping right on out front and guns banging and all that and gang banging. It still happens, but it was on different levels. You know how that go. So I'm able to say that they never had handcuffs strapped around their wrist, or never been behind a cage gate and told they can't leave. You know what I'm saying? I did that for them. You know what I'm saying? So now, through me being able to be there for them and being able to, like I said, I knew my wife since 15. So if I've been there for them, she obviously, she had to have some flexibility within her,
absolutely,
to be able to absorb the ups and downs that I went through as a man and my culture. To obviously, I've been in the Army too as well, sir. So I'm gonna tell y'all that too. Maybe you don't know that, but
yeah, I ain't know you were gone. I thought you were locked up, Kate. No, I'm messing with
you. Yeah, I was. I did both. I've been to both institutions, right? So
I remember when you was locked up.
So I was in the United States Army too, but I got discharged due to a medical discharge, and I ended up going back to, and my frustration led me back to some of the culture that I came from, and I ended up going to another institution, right? So it was all good, right? So all of that made me who I am today, which now I try to be a positive influence on my community, and I give back too. That's why he calls me Community KP. So, because
Right.
there's a lot of young men out there that does need to be taught how to be a man by a man. So I try to do a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Without asking of no reward or none of that. I think it's our duty and our responsibility, right? So
Mm.
I'm not scared of my youth. I'm not scared of them. I go to them. I don't run away from them. So, and they love me for that, and I get respect for
Hey,
that. So,
KP,
yeah.
KP. The other day I was on Facebook and I seen this woman twerking at her son's funeral. I don't know how true it is. Why women don't check women? Like you was telling me, let me finish. Like you was telling me, oh no, man, women, she's a 19-year-old, she grew up in Philadelphia on the streets and stuff. Okay, so women ain't grooming women. That's one. And then a grown woman twerking and shaking her ass at a funeral. It's on Facebook. Why women don't check women? Because like I keep saying, we keep making excuses for bad behavior. You're married. You're married. You see it from a different lens. That's phenomenal. You see it from a different lens. I see it from a lens of get your shit together, grow up, have some discipline, no outside distractions, no excuses. You're grown now. You've been through enough to know to get your shit together. I mean, like I said, you met a diamond in the rough. You met your wife at 15 years old. What percentage of marriage is like that?
Bro, let me tell you something, bro. The difference is people say that all the time, right? Like it was some magical crystal stone that I found in the grass. Like, bro,
Pause, KP. Pause for a second. Wait till you get home.
Listen, bro. Nah, real talk. Nah, listen, bro. Like, it's like I found a person that coexists with me. But the difference in me and any other relationship is when you have those good and bad times, which we've had some absolutely terrible times. You see what I'm saying? Like the difference is we never got off that ride. You know what I'm saying? So it's life is a roller coaster ride, right?
Discipline.
The whole thing is you start off at the top, you take off, then you go up this big hill, you think you're going up, everything going up, you shining, and the next thing you know, you're going straight back down real fast, right? And then you're going at a speed that scares you so much that you feel like you're about to die, right? And then you come up, you go through these twists, you go through these turns, you go up, you go fast, you twist, you turn, and at the very end, you hope, if you still stay strapped in, that you come to that peaceful stop at the end of that roller coaster ride, and y'all still sitting in that chair together, right? So the only difference is when that ride gets shaky and people jumping off, you will never be able to say you've been married for 25 years.
Hey, KP.
But don't think that roller coaster ride ain't happening in every one of those person's lives, bro. It's KP. Just, you can't have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say brother-in-law messing with you. He said that's why he's sitting in the car talking, Crete.
No, I'm sitting in the car. I'm sitting in the car because I want these really particular lemon pepper wings that's been in here waiting for me to go in there and pay for them for about a half hour, because I decided to tap in because Crete hit me with the join button. He know I can't pass up the opportunity.
So, well, hey, man, we appreciate you coming on. Go ahead.
He made a valid point about that, and it's true of what you said. And thank you for sharing that about marriage and how that works. I believe in that, and I believe that's the fear of most men and why they won't get married, because they don't want to be divorced. They don't want to lose everything that they've invested in. I believe that's what that is. But what I'll tell a man is communicate with your wife on every level, no matter what. Because we both know we all imperfect. We're not perfect, but if you communicate with her, and let her know that you want this and that I'm telling you, that can make a difference of a woman leaving a man because of whatever, or a man leaving one woman because I don't want to sound sexist.
A lot of times it's the surprise, and it's surprise in the lies. It's not what you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you get rid of the lies, and then there's no surprise.
That's
Well, here we go. This is how we're gonna do it, right? Y'all can blame it on me, It was CPT time. I came on super late, but I am blessed with you guys. I'm blessed with you guys. Everybody here on the panel, everybody on the in the comment section. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. And that's what family, that's what we do. You know what I mean? So anybody have any ending words that we can end positively off with?
Thank you all for sharing, and it was a pleasure, speaking with you all tonight.
Thank you. What about you, Shimmy?
Let's get it together. Let's get it together. It's not hard dating out here. You making it hard.
Uh-oh. And go ahead, KP. Give us a
Hey
couple
man,
words.
all I can say is that, learn how to love yourself. If everybody can find the love of themselves, they'll be able to be the best version of themselves to be able to love others.
Amen.
All right. And as we step off, Tiff Trey said, not all women. I'm one that do pull a woman to the side and talk to her, but more to the younger ones. Hey, we appreciate that because it has to start somewhere. And I'm sure there's a couple other women in here that do the same thing. We appreciate y'all and keep up the good work. Yummy Gummy says, stop living in fear and take a leap of faith for the right person.
Amen.
All right. So y'all know how we do. It's Conversations in Crete with tonight DJ Shimmy, me D, and my brother KP, and the rest of y'all, my brother-in-law. Shouts out to you. Shouts out to Yummy Gummy. Shouts out to Tiff Trey. Shout out to Keisha Dickerson. Shouts out to who else? Definitely brother-in-law.
Hey, Crete.
Yeah.
Hey man, tell all your followers and your watchers, man, stop looking for that perfect person because it's only one perfect anything.
Yeah.
So if you keep looking for that and you keep pushing people to the side because they're imperfect, guess what? You're gonna be a lonely son bitch.
Oh yeah.
You can say
That's true. So I'm trying to make sure I miss nobody who was up in the comment section because we appreciate it. Shouts out to Nate from upstate. Who else? Just trying to make sure we get everybody. Oh, shouts out to Construction Site Media TV. And shout out to who else? Miss Marla. Shouts out to Miss Marla. I already said Yummy Gummy, right? Yeah, shouts out to Yummy Gummy. Shout out to I think that was it because y'all was tearing up the comments and we loved it all. We appreciate it. And we are out. And brother-in-law had one more for you, KP. He said, and KP, stop lying. You was always in the car. We know who run the house. You mess with you, KP.
Absolutely. Listen. Hey, tell brother-in-law he is exactly right. I'm sitting out here getting lemon pepper wings, man, on the late night because I got I'm at the good spot. So I ain't paying y'all no mind, man. Hey, brother-in-law, you mad because you got to put your chicken wings in the microwave and I'm getting mine fresh late night.
Hey, KP, when I come up, we going to hit that chicken spot. I got to see what that is.
Absolutely. It is what it is, too. I'm telling you, it's special.
Hey, and I got that.
We missed her tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell her.
You see the storm. You see what we in Baltimore, man.
Wow. Yeah, now y'all can have that. Y'all can have that. I don't want no smoke with none of that.
Right.
So
we're in the snow. Let it snow.
Yeah. So we'll make sure we send y'all love to Sweet Mama G. And
Sweet Mama G, love you. I was good tonight.
Yeah. So we are out, y'all. Until next time. And KP, I got that music, and I'm gonna make sure it gets dropped on this upcoming show. And I forgot, KP, I got the Street Tactics radio station coming back next week.
Man, come on, man. You know I gotta be one of your premier guest hosts, man.
Yes, let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna hit you up.
All right. Hey, listen, we're gonna stream a live show on the 28th from around the way. Rebel gonna do some stuff. I'm gonna have you streaming straight on your show.
All right. Hey, ain't nothing but a word. Let's get it.
Peace.
All right. See y'all. Thank you, me D. Thank you, Shimmy. Thank you, KP. All right, we out.
All right, we out. Peace.